Hello, viewer, and welcome to Spotlight here on Hope TV, where you look and live. And on Spotlight, we always do our very best to bring to you persons who are changing, impacting our society in the direction of light. And we always appreciate when you participate in this program. Even tonight, do send us your views, send us your comments. We'll be glad to receive them, even as we talk to a lady who began as a business person making profit. But somewhere along the line, she got a conversion, kind of a Damascus moment. And she decided that, hey, I don't just need to be making profits. I need also to go beyond profit and begin to impact my environment and also the people who work for me in a way that empowers and improves them. So business beyond just profit. And we need more of those people. People like Mary Wanja Thuo, who is with us here on Spotlight. She is the founder and CEO of Cityscape Trends Services Limited, a wonderful company that has interesting initiatives that you'd want to hear about this edition of Spotlight. Mary, welcome.
Thank you, Reverend.
We are honored to have you.
Yes, I'm happy to be here, and I'm so humbled and honored to be here.
Okay.
Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, yeah, and your story is very inspiring, and it's just right that people hear it and hear your spirit, hear your heart about Cityscape and how your model of business has changed from, yes, profit, but also being people-focused. But before we get to that, Mary, very exciting conversation in the last 2 weeks about women and leadership. Of course, it's coming from the political place, but I'm sure that even in the corporate area, in the areas of entrepreneurship, women have been making big strides. It's just that in the political scene now, there's something that is stirring things there. But maybe you can comment on the progress of women in leadership.
Thank you. What I think right now, I think is the best time to be a woman, whether in Kenya, at the workplace, at the marketplace, because I think the two-third gender role has actually just made everything to explode. So more women have started coming on board. If it is at the workplace, we now are putting women on leadership positions so that they can start looking at the challenges at the workplace that reflect on women, and be it in the political arena. We also need women on top positions so that they can come and see what are these needs, what are the needs for women. We have people to represent us as women. For example, I would say, if you remember, we used to have the issues of sanitary pads for women. When we have men, they might not know the issues, our issues. So we need women to represent us there and say that we need to remove the tax or the high rates of sanitary pads so that they can be affordable, so that women, wherever they are, whether it is in the remote areas, we've had cases of women who use clothes or feathers. So we need women in top leadership so that they can be a voice for the women and the girls in the society. So it's just amazing to be a woman, whether at whatever place you are, whether at the workplace or the marketplace. So I think I would champion that we need to have more women, because women are the architect of societies, and they drive and inspire and change the world.
Okay.
Yes.
It's a very strong statement there that it's the best time to be a woman.
Yes.
But I wonder what it is, season it is to be a man.
I know.
I don't know what men, but I think that it's also a good time that men can also see, the women now, using the words that were used by a politician, breaking glass ceilings, right? And one surprising thing is that there are now many men who support, the empowerment of women. What do you feel about that?
I think it is good, because we need both genders. When you look at, we have SDG number 5, it talks about equality. It means we need each and everybody. So even at home, we need men that are supporters. So they complement us. We can't be alone. So we need also men to come on the boat to complement us. It's not about competition, but it's about complementing each other in all walks of life, be it at workplace, be it at home, be it at the marketplace. So we need both genders. Even right now, for example, when it comes to matters of home, we are saying, let's have everybody on the boat. You can change diapers. You can cook. There's no role that is said that it is for me only to cook. You can come on board and let's have all these roles together so that we can create a balance without saying it's a role for this gender, it's a role for this, so that we can build equity and make the world a better place to be.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's a time for men and women to come together and create a world together. And I think it's Barack Obama who said that it's not a good thing when you leave a whole gender behind and still claim to be building a world, you know? And as you say, it's time now for genders to come together and build a world with equality and equity in mind.
And synergy.
And synergy.
Yes.
Well, talking about synergy, you CEO now. Lots of international recognition in terms of many awards that you have received, but we know that comes from somewhere. There are people who would want to know, who is Mary Wanjathu? In a few words, I know you can write books about yourself, but in a few words, who is Mary Wanjathu?
Mary Wanjathu is a voice for the voiceless and a catalyst for the change, as well as a multiple award winner. I say a voice for the voiceless because in the world we are living today, you cannot afford to just stand by and watch things happening. You've got to make things happening. I keep saying that we have 5 types of people in the world. We have those people who watch things happening. We have those people who make it happen. There are those who let things happen to them. And there are those who do not know what is happening to them. So being a voice of the voiceless, you become a person who see something, you say something, and you do something. So become a person of action. So that's the kind of person I am.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, CEO of Cityscape, Cityscape Trends Services.
Yes.
Tell us about what your company does.
Oh, Cityscape Trends Services is a social impact company for profit. We provide sustainable commercial cleaning services for offices and building, where we leverage our core business to address social and environmental impacts. So what that means is that my role being a Cityscape Trends is that I champion, I advocate, and I lobby for decent work, decent pay, human rights, for those at the bottom of the pyramid, dwelling in informal settlements in urban and peri-urban areas. That means that we just don't clean, and we just don't, we clean to hire, we don't hire to clean. That means that everything that we do at Cityscape, it's a business that also looks on the other side. Like we call it the 4 Ps. It's about purpose, it's about putting people first, it's about the planet, and is also about prosperity. So we just don't clean. We also look at the other side. What does Cityscape, as we clean, what impacts are we, how are we affecting the communities? How are we rethinking the role of business in the society? So we clean with a purpose. Yes.
Okay, that's profound. You're many things.
Yes.
You're very many things. And Cityscape is quite an interesting model. Yeah. Just to again go back to your personal story, now that you are a founder of Cityscape, very purposeful company.
Yeah.
But where did this, have you always wanted to do this from your childhood, or did it meet you somewhere along the way?
I would say that before you do something, you must do something with a purpose. And how I started rethinking about the cleaning business, about serving the community, it also starts from my background. I say we lead from the uncomfortable. When I grew up in a single, in a humble beginning, in a single mother, and many challenges. were happening, like lack of school fees, you know. Sometimes putting food on the table was a challenge. And when I look back and I look at today and say, today, at my workplace, I still have communities who have challenges like I did. Maybe lack of school fees, and probably even not knowing how to access the bursaries. Probably my mom didn't know how can I access the bursary, because sometimes I'll be sent off because of school fees. So when I try and figure out all these things, I am like, oh my goodness, the world problems are big. And there has to be someone who steps up when everybody is seated. There has to be someone who speaks up when everybody has zipped up. So when I look at these challenges, I say these are world's biggest and most pressing humanity challenges that are worth to be solved in such a way that in everything I do in my business, I should not be selfish. I should look at how else can I lift the fallen? How else can I lift those who are discouraged? How else can I have a cause that I can speak for those who do not have a voice? So it is all based, what I do today is comes from leading from the uncomfortable.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
All right. So a humble story at the beginning, but now you are supporting people overcome their own stories of lack.
Yes.
And your business model, moving from just making profit to now thinking about, as you say, people, planet, prosperity, purpose. At what point did that switch? Did you begin this business with that model in mind, or did you discover this somewhere along the way?
Thank you, Reverend. It's very interesting how I started all these. Just like everybody else who is thinking of coming into business, and those who also want to do business. When I started business, it was about making money, money in the bank. You want to make a lot of money, and then you're so blinded that you don't see the societal challenges. You don't see all that because the society comprises of many world challenges as well as opportunities. And some of the time is that we look at the opportunities by just thinking about money. So when I started business, just like everybody, I could hire people and pay them little money, little money so that I can maximize on my profit. And then I would also make detergents that are corrosive, that can harm the environment, harm people, and even harm me, harm myself too. Because some of these things, some of these detergents we make them just within our premises. And sometimes the smell it's crazy, because they are not green detergents and they are harmful to the people. And when I started business, I started just like most people do. Or let me say like most people do, those who don't think about the bigger picture. Are you thinking about the society? Are you thinking about your customers? Are you thinking about your workers? Are you thinking about the environment? We didn't think about that. So it was just making money. And then at one point, I found an organization. I'm not a closed book. What I do is that I am a very outgoing person. Every day I'm showing up, be it on association. I hear what people are saying. I want to look at the trends and the shifts in the market, what is happening, because the world keeps on evolving every day. And when I looked at this, I saw I need to belong to a community of business people who are talking about business. And when I went there, I even found they are talking about more than business. I joined as an association called United Nations Global Compact. I joined Kenya Association of Manufacturers. I joined OWIT. These are places where you find the business communities. And when you go there, it is amazing how people talk about business, good things that are happening, how there are shifts and marketing the trend, and how we can tap into this thing. So when I got there, that is the time when I realized, wow, what I'm doing is not just, these people are talking not just about making money. It is more, What are you thinking about like I said, the communities? Are you thinking about the society? Are you thinking about in general, the stakeholders, customers, employees, and workers? And when I had this, I thought it was very interesting. So I put myself into that platform. Every day I would attend the trainings. Every day I'm hearing. Initially, I did not understand what it was. I was just floating. But I say, go in there, keep on hearing, internalize. When you start internalizing, then the moment you start internalizing, the next thing is that it just, poof, it explodes into you. You know, that thing in your blood that excites you and you're like, you have discovered something. That's what happened to me. And the moment I discovered that you can do business in a good way, I started thinking, what are my values? You know, my personal values. My personal values were about being kind to people, fairness, you know, humility, generosity, kindness. And when I looked back at what I've been doing, am I kind to people? By paying them less, that's not kind. That's very unfair. Am I kind to the environment? I've been put on planet Earth by God to be a good steward. Am I doing it right? And I saw these are not my values. So I'm not the real Mary. I'm a duplicate of Mary. And I need to be the original Mary. So I said, how does original Mary look like? Original Mary has these values that these people are talking about. So I looked at these values. I looked at the society. I looked at my people, the people that I'm working closer to. I looked at the environment and I said, wow, this is it. Okay. I'm going to change what I'm going to do. So I started using those, the principles. We have the United Nations Guiding Principles on Business and Human Rights. And the first principle is about anti-corruption. That is the first one. The second one is about human rights. Are we treating people well? On the first one, anti-corruption is that, can you do business without corruption? Because corruption is something that makes everything just go haywire. So the second one is human rights. Are you treating people in a manner that you'd like also to be treated like that? And the third one was labor laws. Are you paying people the way they're supposed to be paid? And the last one was environment. These were values and principles that are so powerful that they can just change the world and make it a better place for my generations and the generations to come, our children. And this is now where I exploded and I have never looked back. Okay,
and the world has noticed. Now, we'll come to that shortly to just talk about you and the awards you have received. But, you know, coming from a profit-motivated business to a values-motivated business, quite a shift. Now, maybe you can, from a business point of view, you can tell us what sacrifices you have had to make for you to switch to this model now, as compared to the one of let's ring the employees, let's pay them as little as possible so you can be able to maximize our profits. Let's get interesting kinds of detergents, you know, just in the name of profit. I mean, now moving now to the values-based, values-driven business, what sacrifices have you had to make?
Oh, that's a good question. There's a lot of sacrifices that we had to make. And some of these sacrifices were like, we had to remodel what we were doing. Like now, for example, let's talk about the cleaning detergents that we were using. These cleaning detergents that we could buy, they were very toxic and corrosive, you know. And we decided that we need to now retweak from what we were doing that was not nice to a way that is more favorable to people. So from the corrosive ones to rethinking how we can change them. So we had to keep on thinking how we retweet them. And we discovered that we can do it better. Things that we can eat or things that we can consume and they can be used to clean. So like we could have vinegar and water to clean our windows. We could have bicarbonate scrubbing soda to scrub the floors. And these were good models that we thought that we can actually forfeit what we were doing before to come in to start, you know, thinking hard and seeing how we can tweak these things. So that was a milestone that we thought was really good for us. And also how we treated the employees from paying little money to now saying we are paying a minimum wage, you know. thinking that your profits are going to be minimized, it was something we were like, are we for real? Are we in for this? Do we really want to do it? But then the moment we did it, it became part of us, and we saw it is a force towards the right direction. Because the moment you pay people well, remember that there are things that are going to happen. The first one is that there will be high productivity at the workplace. Number two, there will be, the workers will be very happy. And number three is that the working conditions, you will start improving the working conditions, because you will find what to improve, what is working, not what is not working, and how to improve the working conditions. And the last one, we keep thinking it is the right thing to do, and it makes business sense. So we had to make a lot of sacrifices, things that we thought that we can't do, but now we are able to do them, and we have seen that they are taking us to the right direction, and they are giving also us a lot of satisfaction. I would say it's like life purpose for business. It's something that makes you happy, gives you fulfillment, gives life meaning, and we're happy to do it. Yes.
Okay. It's got a transformation. And just want to know also, you being a woman of faith, a woman who honors God, how does your faith reflect in the kind of model of business that you're now carrying out?
Yes. I find that very powerful, because I believe that nobody was brought on planet Earth just to wander around, to breathe the free oxygen, and to pay bills and then die. Because God put me here on planet Earth with a purpose. He said, cultivate, you are taught to cultivate, to be a good steward. You are not put on planet Earth to spoil. God put us here with a purpose. So I keep thinking that my faith contributes a lot, because I ask myself, who am I, And I know I'm a child of the Most High God. I'm a masterpiece, and I'm crowned with favor. By knowing that, then I ask myself, where did I come from? I know that I came on, my mom was just a vessel to bring me back here, to bring me on planet Earth. And then the other question I keep asking myself, why am I here, And what is my responsibility being here? And therefore, I say that God did not just put me here. I need to know why God put me on planet Earth. Because everybody, even you, Reverend Buri, you have a purpose. You know why God brought you on planet Earth. You just didn't come to render or to breathe free oxygen. You pay your bills and then you die. You must have a purpose. And when you live a life of purpose, then every day you have something that makes you, propels you to wake up in the morning. No, have you ever heard of people who say, thank God it's Friday, or I hate it is on a Monday? Because these people have never known who they are. First of all, you need to know who you are. And that's why God brought us on planet Earth. And God also wants us to know why we are here on planet Earth. Are you good steward? Do you know why you are on planet Earth? What is your role? What is your purpose? What did God bring you to here to do? Because everybody has an assignment. So you need to discover what that assignment is. You need to find it, because I believe I have seeds of greatness buried deep inside me. So I need to know, what did God put in my heart? So I believe that I have a cause. Like David said in the scripture, we are told David said, he said that, is there not a cause? So I keep asking myself that God has put me on planet Earth, and he wants me to be a voice for the voiceless. He wants me to be a catalyst of change, and he wants me to impact my environment. So I have a philosophy that I say, see something, see something, say something, and do something. So if you see a problem on a planet, you see it, then you say something, then don't complain, do it. So I think God has put me with a lot of significance to discover who I am, my seeds of greatness inside me, and then to serve it to the world.
Okay.
Yes.
No, it's not off. CEOs are known to be like really money chasers. But to see a CEO with a heart and who runs a business with a heart is really refreshing, because sometimes you do have people of faith, just like you are a person of faith, but they don't bring their faith to the workplace, which sometimes is a huge disconnect and causes a lot of noise, you know. So it's good to hear that you do bring your faith to the workplace. And I just want to also ask, when you have encouraged your employees the way you have, when you run that kind of environment,
Yes.
Are there stories? There could be many, but is there a story that stands out? You can say, given the way that we run Cityscape, there are stories of my employees that refresh me or bring tears to your eyes. Maybe one of those, a memory like that you have?
Yeah, I do, because this kind of business that I do, the business model involves us to engage our people. We do not impose things on people. We call it business and human rights. It's a due diligence process that we use in our company. Be it employees, be it customers, be it the society, even the community. Our model is that do not impose on people, engage people. By engaging people, you get to know them better. In most of these cases that we do engage them. In one case, for example, there was this one gentleman, and during my conversation, he said, Ma'am, I have a house that I was building, and right now, I wasn't able to finish. It's halfway. And the reason why I didn't finish is because I had challenges with school fees. I had to pay my school fees for my daughter, and I left my house halfway so that I can pay school fees for my daughter. That was very touching, and I was so glad that I was able to engage them, because some of these issues that they go through, I go through. We need business leaders with a heart to care, people with high emotional intelligence, that we say, how do you treat me? How do you empower me? Then there was this other gentleman.
Before that,
yes.
How did that story go? For this gentleman focusing now on paying school fees and then build project, how did that go?
So what happened is that we then went back to, we have, like I said, the human right due diligence process. What we do, we analyze, and then after we have seen these negative impacts that we have, then again we integrate them into our business policies and into trainings, and then in ways that we can monitor and evaluate. So when we got to hear this, then we came up with a program called Jiweze. Jiweze program was born out of listening to the stories of our people. And we said, oh my goodness, these people are struggling. So we saw we need to have affordable homes for these people. But there's a process. Everything we do, it's not, I would say, abracadabra. It is a process.
It's a process.
Yeah, it's a process that
and
has...
sometimes a tedious process.
Yes, a tedious process. And then we said that, can we start looking for collaborations? What we do, solving world problems cannot be solved by one person. You need to look for people who can come together so that you can be able to form collaborations and solve world problems. And when we looked at this and we said we need circles, we need our customers too. So we went down to our customers. We started with the low-hanging fruits, and these were our customers. We have to engage them. We have to have dialogue with our customers so that they can understand where we are coming from. Then we realized that we are paying people less money. This gentleman cannot finish this house. He's also probably struggling to pay the school fees. So we talked to our customers and we said, we want to run our business in a good way where we are thinking about our people. Would you pay us more so that we can be able to effect human rights? Because human rights comes with a cost. And we spoke to several customers. Let me tell you, this was just amazing at how when you talk to people, when you don't tell people, it's hard for people to know what challenges you are going through, and it is hard for people to know what you want. So after engaging several of our customers, I'll tell you that we made a shift from about 10% of only the people who are paying a minimum wage to about 90% of all the people. The customers agreed and they increased our prices and we paid people a minimum wage. So that was just one way of having this gentleman to be able to pay the school fees and probably remain some money to be able to pay for the house.
You know, when you are at that, it's interesting that you listen to a challenge of one employee, and instead of solving that one singular issue, you think about a program that can benefit way more people, and that is the Jiweze program.
Yeah, Jiweze.
And it's interesting also that once because many times when you go to your customers and you want to increase the prices, the reasons you would give mostly are related to costs of production. You know? But when it comes to an explanation like we want to improve our employees because they come from these kinds of background, and we'd want to pay them better. I mean, that's a very rare angle in terms of negotiation, and to hear that your customers did listen to that is interesting. Maybe just before we go for the break, how would the Jiweze program also maybe benefit from longer contracts?
Wow, very interesting question. That is a question that we've been struggling to answer. And it can only be done, what we decided to do is that we need to engage our customers more. Ask them that whether we can have a contract for 10 years so that we can be able to support these people. If we have a contract for 10 years, we can actually fund these people some money and then spread the cost over some times, and they can be able to pay slowly. And when they're able to pay slowly like that and comfortable without them straining on putting food on the table, having a roof over their head or shoe on their feet, then it can be a comfortable way for us to help them. So we thought if we can talk to our customers so that we can have sustainable businesses model whereby we can do this contract for a period of time and then enable these people to have affordable homes or even to put food on the table, it could be a good way to go about, yes.
All right. So business with the people in mind, doing business with the people in mind.
Yes.
And just before we go for a short break, we'll come back and talk about the awards, the United Nations, and how a small business is able to connect to such a global organization such as the United Nations. But before we do that, tell us the scope of your business. How many employees are we talking about here?
Our business is a very interesting business. And as we said just right now, we're looking for sustainable business. Sometimes we work on contracts, so we can have government contracts. I remember when government once said we want to empower youth, women, and people with disability. So we could get government contracts, and we got a lot of government contracts. At some point, we have over 300 employees. And then these contracts do not last. So these contracts come 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and they are done. So as they continue getting finished or coming too close to the contract, then the number of people also keep on going down. So at one point, we can have a huge number of people. At another time, we can have as less as right now, we have about 50 employees. Yes, so the numbers keeps on increasing. So tomorrow I can have a big contract and the numbers increase. And that is where we are now saying, can we now start engaging our customers and having sustainable contracts where we can impact more people. So it's not just a business of working for customers and then we leave. We want to do business with an impact. Impact to the society, impact to the people we have, impact to our customers as well. Yes.
Okay. And one of the descriptions that you gave to yourself in the introduction was that you're a catalyst. Now, when we come back, we want to hear some of the big catalyst things you're doing in the community. Again, a very, very inspiring conversation we are having with the Cityscape Trends Services CEO, Mary Wanjathu. You want to be here as we talk about how a small business is able to connect with such a huge organization as the United Nations. This is Spotlight. Stay right here. We're taking a short break.
Hope TV is where you look and live, with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content, of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries, with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station, with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
Hope TV is now available on GoTV Channel 103, Zuku Channel 873, Signet Channel 817, and Star Times Channel 026. Enjoy our uplifting content and family-friendly programming anytime. Hope TV, you look and live.
Viewer, welcome back. This is Spotlight, and we are talking about business beyond profit. And our guest is the CEO of Cityscape Trends Services Limited, Mary Wanja Thuo, an amazing business concept that has a heart and that is values-driven. And that's really what we would want to see more, because business places and values, sometimes there's a lot of noise when you talk about values. Yes, we have lots of mission statements and corporate values and all that pinned on walls, but sometimes it's very difficult to find those values being active in the organization actually. But you're doing your best, to actually bring your own personal values to reflect in the business. And now the world has noticed. This small business, you as a CEO, you've even had a chance to speak to the United Nations. Now, how is that, how is that link? How did that happen?
That's very, very interesting. Sometimes I also ask myself, how did it just happen? What I know is that I have a quote that I keep saying, that a man or a woman who sees beyond what eyes can look is the one who changes the world. I'll tell you that eyes that see or look are very common, but eyes that see are very rare. So I was able to join the United Nations Global Compact. And when I joined this association where everybody is speaking, let's do the right thing. And doing the right, let's do the right thing even when doing the right thing is hard to do. Let's just do it. When I joined this association, they have places whereby they take us for learning, peer-to-peer learning outside the country. And I was able to see how other people do it outside the country. I was also able to see locally how we do it. And after seeing how they do it out there, how we do it here, and I was so convinced that this is exactly what I want to do. So what we did is that we incorporated the United Nations guiding principle on business and human rights into our business strategy, and then into our business operation. So every day we speak about doing the good thing. It's not a separation. You don't separate your business from running now the cleaning company and doing good to the society. It is integrated, it is embedded together into your business strategy and business operation. So when we talk about the cleaning detergents, we are thinking, are we polluting the environment? Are we treating people right? Are we serving the communities? So we started talking about these things. We started integrating them into our business, business model. And when we started doing that, then we were able to do more impacts. And the Global Compact also started noticing what we are doing, like the Jiweze program, the Salama Salamin program, where we ensure that we provide decent work and decent pay, where people are paid, all the workers are paid a minimum wage. All the workers, the working condition, you become sick, we believe you are sick. So you can go and have medical attention. When you give birth, we give you.
I like the part that you say, when you say you're sick, we believe you're
Yes.
sick. You're not faking it. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we believe you are sick. And then when someone gives birth, we give them maternity leave for 3 months, and we pay you when you've gone on maternity leave. When someone passes on, we give you a compassionate week to go and rest. If you're a man, your wife has given birth, we give you a paternity leave.
And Kenya is an interesting place when it comes to believing people.
Yes.
Because you might realize that a number of people have either passed away, and then you have to talk to the gentleman and tell them, didn't you tell me this person passed away 2 years back? I mean, but as you say,
Yes.
you believe people.
Yeah, we believe. That's why we say emotional intelligence. We need leaders who have high emotional intelligence. Because when you don't, then it will be a struggle between you and your workers. You'll be that boss who is always pushing people hard. You don't have a soft point where you can engage them. Even empowering them becomes a challenge. So we decided that when we do these good things, we can actually change our workplace. We can impact the society. And they were able to see us, the Global Compact. And that way they took me to Geneva. I kept on going for these conferences to learn more. And when I'm there, at one point, I spoke to the United Nations. Yeah, and we say that when you have a cause, and when you are cause-driven, believe me, that it is an anointing. It's like greatness. Your greatness will start showing up. You now come to the kings and talk to the kings because of that cause-driven idea that you have. So it can drive you to greatness. It is you can be anointed like it's God's favor, and then you find yourself now speaking to the kings.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. You know, I'm just trying to tie this in from your humble story.
Yeah.
To being in a platform where you're addressing the United Nations.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you say about that? Would you say that you never expected it, or would you say this is always what you've dreamt about? What would you say?
I would say it's both. I've always dreamt about it, but I didn't know how to get there. But I'm excited because my environment, I was able to be in an environment where my eyes could see beyond what my eyes could look. That is the only man or woman can change the world, and that is the only person who can be able to address the kings. So I would say in one way is that I've always wanted that. I've never been shy to tap into opportunities. And the other thing is that sometimes you don't believe that it happened. Yes,
Okay.
you look and you say, oh, this is God's mercy, grace, goodness, and favor.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Small company,
Yeah.
big recognition. Can you tell us some of the awards that you have received?
Yes, I'm excited about these awards, but I would say these awards are an inspiration to other people out there to know that if I can do it, they can do it even better. So they can also start doing what I am doing. So the first award that I got this in 2019. This was the United Nations Women Empowerment Principle, where we also have principles on how to run our business. That one we have a principle number 3, which talks on health and safety of workers at the workplace. So we champion that at the workplace. We ensure that we have zero tolerance on sexual harassment at the workplace. Then we also ensure that women and men are safe at the workplace. And that is where we got the Salama Salamin program. That's where it generated. So through championing these, we were given an award, the UN Women Championship Award. Then the other award is a Go Green CEO of the Year Award. That one came in 2021. Very exciting. At a point where you think that sometimes we hit rock bottom, even as we're doing business. we say business is not for the people with the faint hearts. Sometimes you have struggles, you hit the rock bottom. Just when you think you are losing, then God elevates you and you win an award. So we won this award, and it's because of the green things that we do, the cleaning detergents that we were able to innovatively think of changing from the corrosive, harsh detergents to detergents that do not harm the environment. They do not affect our people. Remember, I said when we are sometimes you could feel they are so strong with strong fumes, and that can cause human health effects. And it will affect even the physical, because they are using their hands to clean physical, they can inhale them. So we were able to change into that. Then we would use some containers to package the detergents. And what we will do is that we would send them to, because we have various places where we clean. We are in Mombasa, we are in Kisumu, we are in Kisii, we are in Thika, we are in Machakos. We would send containers of detergents every month. So we are filling the land with unnecessary plastic containers. So we decided now this is harming the environment. Can we now package them in reusable containers, whereby these containers, they are not you can throw them. You can reuse them over and over. So you don't have to have, we are not going to pollute the environment using a lot of plastic containers and throwing them in the environment and having landfills. So that, and also that also comes along with the policy. We call it packaging policy. It's an environment policy. It comes with a packaging policy. So we were able to do that as well. So those are that is another way we were also able to be able to do the right thing at the right time. Yeah.
All right. Great awards.
Yeah.
And
I forgot to say that the last one.
Oh, there's more. I
Yeah.
mean, you have these awards that you have to keep. Oh, there's another one.
The SDG. This is the most recently. Yeah, on what we are now doing on still on the programs that we have started that are impacting the society.
Okay.
Yeah, that one is called the Sdg Pioneer Award. That is the last one. That is the one that I got 2022.
2022.
Yeah, by the United. Yes,
2021
and 2022. Yes.
Award-winning company.
Yes.
Award-winning CEO as well.
Yes. Yes.
Now, and it's very clear that there's a lot of innovation.
Yeah.
At Cityscape.
Yes.
And because you're talking about the Salama Salamin program, talking about the Jiweze program.
Yeah.
Lots of innovation, and lately now what we are noticing is that there is a cycling to work program. Tell us about that.
First of all, I would like to say that every business leader, every world leader, it's not just about doing business. World leaders and business leaders need to rethink the role of business in the society. You cannot have a society that is dying, a society that is struggling, and you expect that your business is going to thrive. It doesn't happen. So as you operate, every business that is operating on planet Earth is leaving some footprints. So we need to start thinking, how do we do it better? So that was one of the ways that we were able to rethink the role of business in the society by coming up with the Cycling to Work program. So the Cycling to Work program was born at one point as I went for my business trips to many countries that I have gone. I've been to Spain, I've been to Geneva, I've been to South Africa, I've been to China. We say traveling is like reading a book. So I could see these, the cycling lanes there. I could see the pedestrian walk path, and even paths for people with disability. I was very fascinated and was like, wow, this is huge. This is amazing. And this can actually be replicated in our country. So with that idea, I came back to the country and I started with my team. We sat down and we said, now, can we work on this? But it didn't take up shape immediately. Then poof, COVID-19 hits the country. And now they are saying that it's like a bullet. It's so invisible. It's a giant, so invisible that you can't see it. So we were like, oh my goodness, if this is a giant, then we need to think out of the box. We need to be creative, because our people are using the matatus. They're going to be affected. They're going to be affected. So what we did is that we thought this cycling to work is the right time. at the right time, at the right pace for us to start implementing these. But again, as we said, world problems cannot be solved by one person. You have to look and seek for collaboration. So when we look at this big giant and we said, how do we go about it? We have to talk to the people again, not imposing ideas to the people. So we went on the ground, we spoke to them. Some said, yes, we can cycle. Others said, no, we cannot cycle. We don't have cycling lanes in our place. Others said, I'm very fearful. I cannot cycle. I can fall or do something. And it was very fascinating when listening to people, all kind of perspectives. And those who said they were bold enough were about 10. So we said we are going to run with the 10 people. So we said now again we have to engage the cycling companies. So we spoke to 10 companies. Let me tell you, sustainability is not something that people have understood. And that's why we keep on saying, let's advocate. I'm glad that you called me on this place so that I can keep on advocating, so that people also out there can understand how do you incorporate doing good to the community, doing good to your workers, also engaging your customers. So we engaged the communities and we were telling them we have this big idea. Nobody could understand, only one company, and this was Buffalo Bicycle. The reason why Buffalo Bicycle understood and why we chose them, they have values like us. They like to help communities. So they provide bicycles to people in Mashinani, in the remote areas. So those are, going to school, the schools are normally located in far places. So they give them bicycles to ride there. And these bicycles go best quality. A bicycle that can go, has a warranty of 5 years. Those are our values, that we want to collaborate with people who are doing good to the community. They have products and services that are helping the communities. Because you can imagine our people, these are vulnerable people, marginalized people, and then we give them bad bicycles. They only earn 13,000. This bicycle is more than 13,000 because it has a VAT on top of it. 18,000 plus the VAT, that's a lot of money. And then we thought, let's spread this money over 2 years so that they can afford them. Can you imagine if we got a company that produces bad bicycles, then we give to vulnerable people? It'd be infringing on their human rights. So we were happy to connect with that they agreed, and we partnered with them. So we got the bicycles and we gave them, we gave the bicycle to the people. Now they can be able to cycle to and from the workplace. But again, we were looking at this and saying, after we gave them the bicycles, they got accidents. Yeah. So one got an accident along Mombasa Highway. In fact, the motorists were very angry, so he left. He left his bicycle and he took off. The other one got an accident on Muthaiga. He was thrown into a ditch. The other one got an accident on Wayakiwe. And the other one was hit by a boda along KBC. So, like I said, our business and human right due diligence process, what we do is that we look at these negative impacts. That is number one. Number two, we then take the impacts and integrate them into trainings, into best practices, into policies. And then this third part is that we monitor, evaluate, and the last one, we report. So when we did this, we were able now to see that the accidents have come. But what is this causing the accidents? When they got accidents, it was costly for us. You see, when we talk about human rights and business, it is risk to the people, not risk to the business. So risk to the people will cause risk to the business. So we thought that we need to understand, why are people having accidents? And this is strange. Our payroll got high. That is what is happening. That is what happens when you don't think about the people, when you don't do the good thing, and doing the good thing is the hard thing to do. So our payroll went high. Then we found out that Kenya, we do not have cycling lanes. We do not have pedestrian. They are not accessible. They are very risky. And that's why they got accident. And then the population do not understand how they can, we need to create awareness so that people can know there are people who are cycling on the path. And those who are cycling, do they have helmets? Do they have the right gears? So when we understood that we do not have the cycling lanes, we do not have the cycling path and pedestrian walkways, we said now we need to look at the policy, the Traffic Act policy. So we look at the Traffic Act policy and we see this was done many years ago. Now it needs somebody who comes and look at it. We're able to pick a few things that we need to change, and that's where we are. So we will, as we go engaging with looking for collaborations, hopefully we will pass this and ensure that now even the bicycles are not expensive, that the VAT can be removed, so that now everybody, we can ensure that we reduce inequalities. We have an SDG number 10. The gap between the haves and the have-nots keep on becoming wider. How can we reduce inequalities in the society? How can we ensure that we also creating more employment to solve world problems? So all these things with the cycling to work was, it's something major that we really want to go to the way of bringing collaboration. So we need to bring the government on board. And I look forward to speaking to Buddy so that we can be able to come up with a vision of what we envision, how we want the world to be in terms of cycling. How can people cycle to work? We want to engage the private sector. Can they encourage their people to start cycling to work? Can we have even bike parks in the city where people can park, go to work? Can we have strategic places? So the cycling to work thing is big, Reverend, and we want to take it to the next level in a way that it can not only impact our people at the workplace, but we can see it impacting the society. Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting how your eye is always, yes, inside, but also outside.
Yes, yes.
And the way you are also engaging lots of innovation.
Yes.
Do you cycle to work?
Yes and no.
That's okay.
That was an idea. I'll tell you, I'm still learning how to cycle. And sometimes they question me, you're not cycling.
So you're in cycling school.
Yeah, I tell people that I grew up in a humble background. At home, my mom would ask me, do we buy a bicycle or do we put food on the table? But today, look at what is happening. The first thing, every home have a bike for their children. So for me, it's something that I want to show people they are just authentic person, that you don't have to do some things for you to advocate. You can also start from an angle where you don't do it, maybe affected like me. I was affected by people because I could see this is my people here have been affected. So I need also to champion on this. It's coming. So I'm going to cycle very soon.
Okay.
Yes.
And I think as you think about cycling to work,
yes,
I think one of the most motivating things now that you have a league of CEOs who are your friends, is also a league of CEOs who cycle to work. And I think that once CEOs begin to cycle to work, they attract, of course, government attention. They are able to speak and they are heard, and the people who work in those organizations follow suit. So we look forward to hearing of CEOs cycling to work. Cycling to work are led by Mary Wanjathu.
Yeah, very exciting.
Now, finally, as we end this conversation, very exciting conversation, when you look into our community and you look at places which, I think the word you used was low-lying fruits, places that companies, yours and others, can already begin to engage to better their communities. Places that you can see in the community. Now you've looked at cycling, you've looked at wages, you've looked at all the environment and things like that. Some other places which you observe and say, this is an area in our society which should definitely be improved. And a company can take it as its responsibility to do that.
Yeah. Sometimes I look at things and say that we need to see, like I said, we need to have eyes that see beyond what our eyes can look. There are very vulnerable people in the society that are overlooked, persons with disability. That is a major area that I would say that we need to look at the vulnerable groups and bring them on board so that we are not, everything we do, we do not leave anyone behind. So when it comes to issues of, when we talk about the cycling to work, we are looking at how can we have lanes, driveways for people with disability. Because the reason why I say that in one way or the other I'm affected, having people in my lineage who have been disabled, people who are walking like us, and all of a sudden they develop something and they are on a wheelchair. So are we forgetting the vulnerable people? We need to have, like we said, that we need to have leaders with a heart to care, that we need to look at these vulnerable people and come up with solutions, ideas, innovations that can help them. Like now we are saying when it comes to driveways, can we have driveways for people with disability? Because they are there, you find that they have put pedestrian walkways, and we don't have where they can go with wheelchairs. They have put some barriers that people can't walk. Can we also have bus stations, considering ramps where people can travel in the bus? Can we have the wheelchairs? The wheelchairs are very expensive for people with disability. The cheapest being about 30,000, because we have tried to look and see how they are. Very expensive. Not everybody can afford. Why is it that we can't have people operating the wheelchairs? They are very expensive. Not everybody can afford. You have to be wheeled. We are saying, can we have them? That can we make sure that they are affordable? Can we have a manufacturing company within the country that can manufacture them so that everybody now can be able to be mobile? Because disability is not inability. So we need leaders who can also think on the broader, have a broader view, and thinking about things that matters. We can shine a spotlight on issues that matters, or shine a spotlight on issues that are not acceptable, that we say no, so that we do not have broken systems that are affecting people. We are broken people also living in a broken society. We can be the change that we want to see, and we can be people that create the world we want to see because of our children who are coming to planet Earth tomorrow.
All right.
Yes.
Mary Wanjathu, CEO, Cityscape, great insights, specifically about let's not just do company, let's do community.
Yes.
Let's not just do profit, let's do people. And more awards to you. More awards to you as you run your values-driven company. More awards to you. And keep doing what you're doing. We look forward to hearing more innovations coming from Cityscape Trends. And God bless you as you continue to serve the world and make it a better place in the way that you're doing.
Amen.
And thank you for being on Spotlight. Viewers, we've been talking to the CEO of Cityscape Trends Services Limited. Her name is Mary Wanjathu. Amazing insights. And one of them is that not everyone who looks sees. Think about it. This has been Spotlight. Thank you for watching.